All right, guys, welcome. So before we go any further, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me check to see. Yeah, we good. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're catching this on the replay, comment. That helps. All that helps the channel grow. But we're gonna get into this shit today. You know, bunch of different topics. Well, a couple of different topics. And I just want to let you know this is channel. A lot of this is channel. Me and the homegirl Gail talk about her. You guys probably seen her in chat before. We get a bunch of channels, and a lot of times what happens is I take channels, we get, and research, however extensive that is, and I just put two and two together now. You guys can do that shit just like I can. So this shit is not a mystery. This shit is not a mystery, but at the same time, it's a lot of shit that must be said. All this shit comes together. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing this free Brittney shit for a minute now. I got channels about it during the summertime, and I wasn't gonna, I was gonna do the video, then I just decided not to. Then it happened again. Then I seen the Ukraine shit, and then this whole new the 5D, the metaverse, and this whole new Earth shit. It's all one big thing. So we're gonna get into it. So let me lay the foundation for it, because basically it's energy. It's cycles being repeated. Time is just looping. Okay, timelines would be the one. You meet the phallus, because a timeline, it's a line, it's a 180-degree, angles, straight. That's a phallus. And the time loops are the womb. That's ones and zeros. That's how this matrix works. So when we talk about time and we say it is an illusion, we have to know that it is the code to the matrix. Ones and zeros. Because this shit is a big ass computer, basically. So basically, we're going to start off with the energy, the rituals of energy stealing. And all of these movements, saying free this person or free that person, you have to know that started during, I can trace it back to civil rights movements, when a lot of, civil rights leaders were getting locked up, and, people would be outside the jail, rioting to free, free such and such. A lot of that energy comes from there during those periods, to the point where now it's a spirit. So we're going to talk about the whole free Brittney thing, and then I'm going to tie it into everything that's going on, at least one level of shit, and you're going to see how it goes, basically. So basically, she's, her, she's a Sagittarius. That's the archer. The archer. Okay, and what's her last name? Spear or Spears. So multiple arrows. We're talking about arrows. We just came out of, Valentine's Day was a couple of weeks ago. So that energy of love, and you have Sagittarius, spiritual fire, yada yada yada. It's ruled by Jupiter. That's expansion. Okay. Keep that in mind. So let's get the etymology of spear first before we go any further. Let's do that. And then, I'm going to, break it all down. And get the etymology of that, because that's just the, the root science. I like to get the etymology versus the definition. Let's do the spirit etymology. So, let me see. Let's see if you guys see. This is the site I'm using. Oh shit. Let me turn down my brightness. Damn. All right. All right. So basically, the etymology of spear. The etymology of spear or spears: a weapon with a penetrating head and a long wooden shaft meant to be thrust or thrown. So keep that in mind. And here's spear as a noun, the etymology: sprout of a plant. Sprout of a plant. That makes me think of industry plant. You know, she was one of them factory Disney kids from way back in the day. Let's not forget about that. Most of them are industry plants. You know, like what happens is a lot of these tortured souls go on to do the torturing. So, she's with all the shits. But I believe everything that's happening to her is legit. But she just had to do some things to get to where where her career has taken her to. It doesn't always end up that way, but you can tell once you get to a certain level. Once you get to a certain level, you have, just like everybody else, like a Jay-Z or a J. Cole, they're hypnotists. Shout out to fucking Hood Mystic. If a good video that I just got, done watching on like Voodoo and shit is the Hood Mystic Chicago video, man. I'm from Chicago, living in Central Illinois. Most of my family's from there, so man, it broke down a lot of shit that I already knew, a lot of shit I didn't, but it confirmed a lot of my channels with the music industry. But let's go. Let's get further into laying the groundwork so that I can get really into the meat and potatoes of the video. So, like I said, Britney Spears she's a high level pawn, very high level pawn. You know, she's been in place for a very fucking long time. So you're thinking, like, Joe, what the fuck does she have to do with any of this? Well, it's just all rituals. It's all rituals. And we'll get to it. It's not just her. It's, I'm just using this one ritual to show you the energy harvesting that goes on. And then it's about what they do, what is done with this energy. What do they do with it? Put it into other bigger rituals. And it just keeps going and going and going. Well, let me turn my brightness back up. Sorry, guys. So basically, yeah, she's a high level pawn. And they're using that movement to usurp astral light and just usurp energy and astral light. Now, this is, going to go into a video that I did before about the harvesting the energy of the goddess. And as we know, the earth is the daughter. Universe is the mother, sun is the son, time is the father. So basically, it's all one on one end. It's all one big ritual to keep the daughter from rising, to keep the earth from rising, because all of what's happening, and I'll get there when I talk about 5D and New Earth. I'm getting ahead of myself. So basically, they're usurping astral light through our emotions and using that to trap people in lower realms. So when you think of, when they tell you everything that's going on with her, how she's being trapped and this and that, it plays on people's emotions, gets them emotionally invested. Just like that, they're taking that energy. So what are they doing with it? We'll get there, but that's just how it goes. Just first, I got a couple books that I've read on this subject. Um, you know, I generally I would give, me, I would give out books, but this one is a pretty dangerous one. Never know who will get in the hands of this one, but if you want to, know about more of the books that I read, I've given them out on the channel before. You can find that video. But when you say free her or free him, any of these movements like that, basically we're talking about lockdown. We're talking about lockdown. Didn't we just come out of a lockdown? Okay. And you can say lockdown. So they say Britney Spears is like, it's like she's in a prison. Okay. Lockdown, free her, cell. Prisoners are in cells. Okay. So be wary because this shit is affecting you at a cellular level. The most minute level, a cellular level. This is how the sorcery is working. You see how they're doing it. So basically, it's working at a cellular structure. And this is just from my notes that I took during the summer. I got all different types of stuff on it now. But it's happening at a cellular structure. The level or where the program is being injected. And it's being portrayed, as her being imprisoned by her own family. This sounds like some sort of mythology. This sounds like the Egyptian mythology of Set, Isis, Horus, Osiris. When in the mythology where Set cuts up Osiris and locks him in a box, but it was really who was actually locked in the box is the goddess Isis. So the goddess is actually locked in the box. And when you lock somebody down like that, what happens is, on an alchemical level, fermentation, that energy ferments like alcohol. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and you can just usurp it, eat it. That's what they're doing with this Free Britney movement. She's a part of the plan, bro. Now, we're going to get into how it works on a higher level. So basically, there's that. So anytime that you say the mantra Free Britney, that is a mantra now. That is a mantric sigil. That is a mantra. Basically, you form an energetic cord, like, when you say it and you have some sort of emotions tied to it, now you have an energetic cord with that movement and with that whole energy, with that spirit. And then they can just suck your energy. She can suck your energy because it's going through her. Okay? All that astral light going through her. All that light going through her, and then they suck it from her. And then they take that energy and they use it somewhere else. So then now let's talk about how that's relevant. So you have this whole 5D. I hear a lot of tarot readers on the Twin Flame channels talking about, oh, the 5D. And, I hear the 5D everywhere, 5D Earth, 5D this, and New Earth. Let's talk about it. And how that relates to the whole Britney Spears thing in Ukraine. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Share, subscribe, all that. So basically, how that works is, sorry, I lost my place. So we're talking about the 5D Earth. So basically, how that's working is through the time loop. Now, this is through the womb of slavery. How was America founded? How was America built? On the backs of slaves. Slavery. Through slavery. So now you got this metaverse, 5D Earth, and New Earth. It's all the same thing. So basically, once you put that VR headset on, what it does is the goggles on the VR headset, that becomes your new two eyes, your new vision, and then the headset goes over your pineal gland. So you're forming a contract, basically, to shut down your pineal gland. when you put on that VR headset. So boom, they got you. And then so there's that chakra being shut down, that your projector being shut down. So that means they shut down your central nervous system and can control it. Because the neuromelanin is created through the CNS, central nervous system, and with the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. So now you've been locked out of heaven once more, and you've been locked down and locked out of the land of milk and honey. I've gone over that before. Pituitary gland secretes a milky-like substance. Pineal gland secretes a honey-like substance. Get the book, God, Man, the Word Made Flesh. Good book that breaks all that down. So now they got you hooked with this VR contract, locked into a virtual reality. Okay? And what happens is, once they get you locked into the VR, the metaverse, okay, beyond the song, you're going beyond the song, verse, a song, meta, beyond. So you're going beyond the song. Then they get you and everyone else who's locked in there, or anybody locked in there, to create that world by interacting with each other and through your mind. You get it? So now, through the minds of anybody else interacting into the metaverse, which so many people, they're going to make it attractive. They're going to make it attractive to where, it's people will feel like they're missing out on something, so it's gonna be the new thing. We've been forewarned about it. Give it about a year, everybody's gonna be up in that bitch. Motherfuckers gonna be selling dope in that bitch. Bitches gonna be slanging virtual pussy in that bitch. This shit's gonna get buck wild. Niggas gonna be smoking virtual crack in that bitch. Everything, man. Fucking everything. I'm not playing with y'all. That shit gonna be popping. This shit gonna be lit. I'm not gonna be in there. But they're gonna get motherfuckers to build that world for them, because that is these motherfuckers, these evil, these more maleficent, satanic, and evil priesthoods. That's their new world. That is their fifth dimension, because as I said, Yaldabaoth, or whomever you see the demiurge to be, there are conflicting opinions about that. They say he looked up at his mother's creation and built it down here, which would be a false reality, because he doesn't have that spark. He doesn't have that he just doesn't have that spark, that piece of her that he should have, because she blew it into us. That's in that mythology. So as he looks and up and creates the many, because this is a simulation upon a simulation upon a simulation, meaning he then looked up multiple times and then built, then folded all different types of worlds, which are just dimensions or levels of consciousness. So he sees how her world, the real world, hence they even made a television show about it, The Real World, back on MTV, trolling it. He sees how her dimensions are and built this world here, a false world. So when there is a shift in the dimensions in the world of the Great Mother, there has to be a shift here. So that's why they're talking about 5D this, New Earth this. I'm telling you, that New Earth shit is bullshit. Bobby Hemmett told us in the 90s and early 2000s, anytime they talking about save the fucking Earth, this shit is over. Bobby been telling us in all his lectures. And then they got that one girl, Greta Thunberg or whatever, poster child for this shit. Ain't her daddy FBI? I'm gonna have to look that up, but I may be wrong, but I thought her daddy was FBI or involved in one of them things, one of them alphabet things. There's that. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to go back on that. But talking about save the earth and we need to do this. Why? Because what happens is the daughter is waking up. Remember, mama, big mama, universe, daughter, earth. As daughter earth rises, there will be chaos because she's coming out of a slumber. So then there's always been a priesthood there, right? By that informs the goddess of who she is. Sleeping Beauty. That's what the whole Sleeping Beauty on Disney was about. And that priesthood, you know, helps the goddess remember who she is. That priesthood has the knowledge. That's why priests are men. That's why a lot of these priesthoods and a lot of these secret societies, predominantly men. When they used to be women, they used to be predominantly women, but nowadays it's because the goddesses were put to sleep or fell asleep, however that goes. We can debate on that. And basically, as they wake up, we have the men who weren't asleep getting the knowledge. So when she wakes up, arises in consciousness, basically, we're there hand in hand to let her know, to help her rise and get put back on her throne. Simple shit. That's why these priesthoods, it's how that's how betrayals happened. So you have a priesthood who wasn't about that shit. They say, no, we're not doing that. And they took over. Lied to her. That's the whole Adam and Eve in the garden shit. That's what that is. So, as that happens, there's going to be more storms. There's going to be more chaos in the earth. But let's be wary. Keep your wits about you. It's all going. It's all going to be all good. But what happens is the earth is just going to rise in vibration in accordance with her mother, because she's getting put back on that throne. And these motherfuckers won't be able, these so-called elites or whatever you want to call them, they won't be able to live here, take the energy and the spirit of what earth will become. It's just newer, it's just higher vibrations, man. It's not new earth, man. What the new earth is the fucking metaverse. And we've gone through that. So basically, all of the energy they're taking from this whole movements like the Free Brittney and niggas in the metaverse to build, not only to build that world, they're taking that energy for this Ukraine-Russia war, which is, it's not going to be anything. They're using that energy for distractions like that. That's what they use it for. They use it for bigger rituals. You see what I'm saying? They use that energy for bigger rituals. It's very, very simple, what's going on. Just checking the chat real quick. Okay, we're good. Very, very, very simple about what's going on here. So just know that Ukraine and Russia, they're all friends. This ain't shit. The war is spiritual. The war is spiritual. Trust me, it's going down. So I would say, get in your bag. Get into your ancestral blood magic. A lot of us, I'm from Chicago. I know part of the blood magic my ancestor practiced hoodoo and voodoo. The city of Chicago, founded John John Baptiste DuPont Sable, was one of the, and this is where Hood Mystic, he broke this shit down, bro. I did some research on it myself. Even, got into, the meditation. See if, seeing if I could find this nigga on the astral. However that worked. I was able to get a little bit of something, just personal. But he founded the city of Chicago, and he was a Haitian born and into voodoo, heavily into voodoo. So I know, okay, boom, that's part of it. So I do work with my ancestors, and I've always talked about, that we should be doing that. Maybe I'll do more videos on burning ancestor money and such. I'll do some recorded videos on that. Go to the altar, burn some ancestor money, or, however that works. But during these times, get into your ancestral magic. So get with your ancestors, set up a little ancestral altar, look and go online. Let me see. I learned from Brother Ali, S. Ali Myers. He's Indra Ali now. Indra, Indra, like the god Indra. Indra Ali, Ali on YouTube. Because once you start building up a relationship with your ancestors and you start asking them, what do we, what is our magic? And today I was asking my mom, about about my grandparents and stuff. So now I know, like, kind of where they're from. I am, fourth generation Chicagoan. So I know I'm heavily into that side. Third, if you add my mother and my father, I'll be fourth. Well, actually, fifth. But my mother and father are born both in the 60s. So, I mean, my mother, father, big sister, then me. So then that's, third generation, actually, or whatever. But we in there. Actually, no, because my mom's mom, my grandma Spelma. So that's where that came from. So on my mom, if I go basically branched off from my mom's side, you know, I'm fourth generation Chicagoan, and Chicago was one of the most powerful cities because it was built, built by a black man who was into voodoo, not into, that was his lifestyle. This nigga was rocking with Abraham Lincoln. That's some fucking energy right there. And the city of Chicago founded not only on ley lines, but again through ancestral magic. Very few cities, find another city in America that has that story, that has that type of spirit behind it. Don't worry, I'll wait. But if you find it, let me know. Let me know. So that's the energy, and I'm also looking at, okay, so what else are we into? Okay, so hoodoo, voodoo, this, that, and the third. I'm getting right with that. Why is that important? That's important because of the times we're coming into now. You're gonna need to get aligned with that ancestral tree that sits inside of you and build onto it and activate it, because these niggas is on some bullshit, as you can see. And they gonna be coming from motherfuckers. They're not going to win. This shit is already over. This is just remnants of it. But guess what? We're in those fucking times, those scary hours, whatever you want to call them. We're in those fucking times. And it's also just good, even if we weren't, it's good to know. It's good to have in the bag. It's, that it's good to do that type of work, period. Just for the later generations that come after you, to have that particular thing activated, so they're not having to do all this work. They can just come in and add on to it and already know how to do that. So this is just a light video, guys. on every, on current energies and spirits going around and different things of that nature. Have no fear. Don't rock, don't live in fear and nothing like that. Everything's all right. Everything's going to be all gravy. Just get into your bag, you know, sit with yourself, see, see where you can develop develop yourself, develop your skills, your talents, your magic. However, definitely get into your magical bag. So, without further ado, guys, I'm gonna check the chat, see if you guys got any questions. What's good, Richie? What's good? Because if you guys don't have any questions, then I will be going to Patreon, and we got amazing things happening on Patreon. We're working with the subconscious mind. I think until I'm kind of like a 30-day challenge. I did one not too long ago, but where I'm going deeper, this time where I'm more involved on that level. Alrighty. Any questions? If not, like I said, I've got a Patreon. Um, Check in with my people over there, see what we got going on, and then get back into my studies or chill for the rest of the night, however that goes. Just got this new tantra book. You know, just I took this whole weekend to really get more into knowing more about myself, and I've learned so much about myself this weekend. It's crazy through numerology, astrology, all that shit. One of my homeboy did a breakdown for me, and he's really cold at this shit. Then I'm gonna be doing a review on his services and sending y'all his way. I'm gonna do a like a recorded video on that. It's amazing. It's the system that he has created through his own study and using it on himself. Man, this shit is wild. Between that and taking the Spirit Duelist Soul Mission Masterclass, I got this shit. I know he's life has been crazy since then. Last 2 weeks have been crazy, especially this weekend. So if you guys do not have any questions, I'm gonna head out. So I love y'all. Peace.